In this video, we are going to discuss 10 easy questions from domain 1 of Cissp. Question number 1. Which of the following is a method of limiting access to a computer system by identifying and authenticating the user through something they know, have, or are? A. Authentication. B. Authorization. C. Auditing. D. Identification. The answer is authentication. The method of limiting access to a computer system by identifying and authenticating the user through something they know, have, or are is known as authentication. Let us try to understand this in more detail. This question is asking about a fundamental security concept called authentication. Authentication is the process of verifying the identity of a user or device accessing a system. It can be done through something the user knows, like a password, something they have, like a security token, or something they are, like biometric data. Moving to the next question, which of the following is not an example of a type of security control? Access controls, physical controls, social controls, or authentication controls? Answer to this question would be C. Social controls are not a type of security control. Security controls are the measures put in place to protect information and systems from threats. They can be classified into different types such as administrative, technical, and physical controls. Social controls, on the other hand, are not a type of security control. They refer to policies and practices that promote good behavior and ethical conduct in an organization. Let us move to the next question. Moving on, which of the following is a threat to the confidentiality of data? Trojan horse, denial of service, phishing, shoulder surfing. The answer is D. Shoulder surfing is a threat to the confidentiality of data. Here, this question is asking about a threat to the confidentiality of data. Confidentiality refers to the protection of sensitive information from unauthorized access or disclosure. Shoulder surfing is a type of attack where an attacker tries to obtain sensitive information by looking over the shoulder of the user. This can include passwords, credit card numbers, or other personal data. Next question, which of the following is an example of a risk management process? Access control, security assessment, intrusion detection, encryption. The answer would be B. Security assessment is an example of a risk management process. Risk management is the process of identifying, assessing, and controlling risks to an organization's assets. It involves evaluating the potential impact of risks and determining the best way to mitigate them. Security assessment is a type of risk management process that involves evaluating the security posture of an organization by identifying vulnerabilities and threats. Let us move to the next question. Which of the following is not a category of security policy? Administrative policies, technical policies, physical policies, operational policies. Answer would be C. Physical policies are not a category of security policy. Security policies are the rules and guidelines that govern the behavior of users and systems in an organization. They can be classified into different categories such as administrative policies, technical policies, and operational policies. Physical policies, however, are not a category of security policy. They refer to the physical controls put in place to protect assets from theft, damage, or destruction. Let us move to next question. Which of the following is an example of a physical security control? Firewall, intrusion detection system, security camera, encryption. Answer would be C. Security camera is an example of a physical security control. Physical security controls are designed to prevent unauthorized access to an organization's physical assets. Examples of physical security controls include security cameras, access control systems, and perimeter fencing. Firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and encryption are all examples of logical or technical controls. Moving to the next question, which of the following is an example of a confidentiality control? Password policy, backup and recovery procedures, redundant power supply, patch management. Answer would be A. Password policy is an example of a confidentiality control. Confidentiality is the protection of sensitive information from unauthorized disclosure. Confidentiality controls are used to ensure that only authorized individuals have access to sensitive information. Examples of confidentiality controls include password policies, access controls, and encryption. Backup and recovery procedures, redundant power supply, and patch management are all examples of availability controls. Moving on to the next question, which of the following is an example of a risk mitigation strategy? Risk avoidance, risk transference, risk acceptance, risk reduction. Answer would be D. Risk reduction is an example of a risk mitigation strategy. Risk mitigation is the process of reducing or eliminating potential risks to an organization's assets. There are several risk mitigation strategies, including risk avoidance, risk transference, risk acceptance, and risk reduction. Risk reduction involves implementing controls to minimize the likelihood or impact of a potential risk. Moving on to the next question, which of the following is an example of a legal and regulatory compliance requirement? ISO 27001, HIPAA, COBIT, NIST SP 800-53. Answer would be B. HIPAA is an example of a legal and regulatory compliance requirement. Legal and regulatory compliance requirements are laws, regulations, or standards that an organization must comply with. Examples of legal and regulatory compliance requirements include HIPAA, GDPR, and PCI-DSS. ISO 27001, COBIT, and NIST SP 800-53 are all frameworks or standards that provide guidance on how to manage information security. Moving to the last question of the video, which of the following is an example of a security incident? An employee accidentally deletes a file. A power outage causes a server to shut down. A hacker gains unauthorized access to a system. A software bug causes a program to crash. Answer would be a hacker gaining unauthorized access to a system is an example of a security incident. A security incident is any event that could potentially compromise the confidentiality, integrity, or availability of an organization's assets. Examples of security incidents include cyber attacks, data breaches, and theft of physical assets. Accidentally deleting a file, a power outage, and a software bug are not security incidents, but they may impact the availability or integrity of an organization's assets. Thank you for watching this video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on latest videos.